So you say you desire to start a business, you have this passion project you've been thinking about for years, but you still haven't done it. And you might have even said, "Oh my goodness, I really believe I deserve this promotion. I've been in this senior role for a long time and I'm ready to make more money." But you haven't making the move to actually get the promotion. Or you want to have this total life change. There's something that you want to change in your health or in your appearance or just how you present yourself. You just really know that it's time for you to change how you've been showing up, yet you're doing the same thing. So there's something that I feel like is a through line with all of this, and that is faith. Now, I know a lot of times people don't talk about faith in terms of how it can benefit you in making changes in your life. Sometimes we talk about it strictly from a spiritual perspective, or we talk about it in just having faith in yourself. But I truly believe that when people say hope is not a strategy, I'm like, it's not, but it has to be a part of whatever strategy you have. And I believe it's more so faith that needs to be a part of that strategy, because if we have plans alone is not going to get you where you desire to be. You actually have to have faith that it is already done. And if it's already done, then what would you do differently? What is the energy in which you would do those things differently? So, I want to teach you today on how to incorporate faith into whatever journey that you have going on. And so, if you are a believer, then you already know that this is what we believe faith is. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, and it's the evidence of things not seen. And so it's imperative that you make what you desire evidence. It has to be evidence. What you see in your head has to be evidence that it is already done. That it is already done, and it's truly possible to have it because it's already done. It's already yours. So if it hasn't been seen by, maybe your physical eye, it has to be seen in the mind's eye. It has to be seen in your spirit. Because if you don't already see it, you're not going to go through your plans with any vigor, with any excitement, with any enthusiasm that is already done. And I have done this. Like, I have said I wanted to do something and didn't have the faith toward it. And let me give you an example of that. And so I desired to have like this big launch in my business. So I really did all the work to prep for this launch. And I kept saying, like, "Oh, I'm so excited this is going to happen." But something happened while I was creating this launch. And I started thinking that it really wasn't possible. I'm like, "Desiree, you're in over your head. This is not possible. I don't know why you're even doing all this." And that was my inside thought, but I kept pushing forward as and kind of ignoring it, but not really dealing with it and dealing with what it meant for me. And as a result, I had a real big fail of a launch. Like, nobody bought my product. And it felt really disheartening. And so it kind of messed me up for a while, because I felt like, oh, maybe what I'm doing isn't right. Maybe what I'm doing is not enough. People don't want it. And so I kind of crawled back into that hole of, oh, I don't have time to do work on my business. So I just put my head down in my full time work and kind of left it for dry for a long time. But something shifted in me in realizing that I did not work my faith. I did not work my hope, which is the substance. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. So I wasn't working that substance. I wasn't working with what I already believed and making it grow by continuing to cultivate it. And so what I did next in my business was, you know what? I desire to have a $20,000 client that's a one on one client that I work with for 8 months to a year, and really help this client change something amazing in their life. Like, that's what I really wanted to do. And so instead of talking myself out of it, I didn't put like this time frame on it, like it has to happen by this time. I just decided that people pay me $20,000 to do one on one coaching with them. That's it. I just decided that. I decided, you know what? That's what it is. So I already had the end in mind. I already knew that the end was, whenever that end came, I was going to have a client that paid me $20,000 for one on one coaching. Like, I was already convinced of it. And I believe that that is a part of faith, to be like all the way convinced that this thing is already done. Like, this thing is already done. This thing has already happened. What else are we talking about here? Like, even if I don't see it yet, I'm telling you, no one had paid me $20,000 yet. I didn't even have a prospect at the time, you all. But I just decided, I'm like, yeah, people paid me $20,000 to do one on ones for them. So when people would ask me whether I wasn't, and this is good, you all, whether it was someone that I wanted to have as my client or not, I decided I'm not going to convince anybody that I'm the person that they should pay $20,000 for. I'm just deciding that I'm the kind of coach that people pay $20,000 to work with one on one. And so when I would talk to people, when I was at networking events, and people even ask me, I'm like, oh yeah, it's $20,000 to work with me for a year. Like, that is what I said, and I did it with such. This is just the way things are. And so what had happened was I was speaking at a conference, and I was one of the speakers that was in like the latter part of the conference. So that gave me the opportunity to kind of network and talk to people. So I sat at a table with, some amazing people, and one of the women at the table said, "Hey, I looked you up prior to the conference. Really love your content. I would love if you could be my coach." I'm like, "Oh, that's amazing." So we just started talking about what she wanted to be coached on and all the things. And so she said, "Okay, great. It'd be great to work together." And so I did have at the time this VIP package or something like that, for like $5,000. And so I think that that's what the first thing I popped up, like, hey, if you want to do something, that's shorter, it starts at $5,000. If you want to do something that's longer, it's, $20,000. And so she started off with the $5,000 package, and we had our first session. But after our first session, you all, she was like, you know what? I was able to see, how else I could, move things around in my budget. And I know I can give you this for doing work with you for a year. And so I was able to get that $20,000, you all. And it was amazing. And it felt so natural. It felt so natural because this is what's supposed to happen, because I already believed that the work that I did was more than valuable enough that if somebody spent time with me, that's the least that they could invest in themselves, because what I was going to do work with them over that time was going to exceed more than they could ever imagine for the rest of their life, the values, the principles that we were going to be working through in our time together. And so I was 10 toes down about that. And so when I think about your own strategy, I want you to consider this. I want you to consider, how have I lacked faith in myself, in God, in my process? And how is that keeping me from executing? Like, literally, when we add faith to our strategy, to our process, first of all, it keeps us locked in. It kept me locked in. Like, oh, it's windy out here. It kept me locked in. Like, no matter what, thoughts came to my mind. Whereas before, I wasn't locked in. I was given in to doubt. I was given into fear of rejection, all the things. But I didn't give into that this time around. I didn't put like these parameters. Like, if it didn't happen by this date, then it's never going to happen. Oh my goodness, right? I just locked in. And so what would it look like if you locked in and then you kept going to God? And I definitely do. I'm a believer. So I was like, listen, God, like, I believe this to be true. And I know that you're going to bring that person and those people that desire to work with me to me. And it's going to be amazing clients, because those are the only people I know how to work with, is amazing clients. And so consider how you can bring in that faith in yourself, that faith in God, that faith that will help blow up the way that you talk about your strategy, the way that you approach your strategy, so that you can actually get the results that you want. And it'll be from a place of knowing that you really played full out. And when I talk about full out, you definitely got to watch my other video on playing full out, because if we don't play full out, we're just kind of like faking like we have all of this excitement around what we desire to do, when in actuality we're just being performative. We're just going through the motions with this fear that we're not going to exceed. And if you're going through that, it's going to be no wonder that you don't get to your end goal, because you already think you're going to fail. You have to approach it from a place that you have already won. And so let's approach our life from a place of winning, because when you approach it from a place of winning, when you approach it from a place of faith and what you know to be true about your life, you are going to win. Like, there's no choice. It has to happen. So if you like this video, then you'll definitely love my what is my thing? My main character energy playbook. Listen, I just created it, so I had to remember what it was. But I'm super excited about it because I poured in so many of the different things that I've done with my clients, so many different things that I've done over my life for myself personally to really create this stick to itiveness of feeling confident, feeling in my bag, feeling that whatever I desire is mine and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get it because it's already mine. So it's like, why wouldn't I do whatever it takes when it's already mine? So I want you to have main character energy in every area of your life. And if you desire that, then go ahead and click below. Go ahead and get my free guide to 21 days of main character energy, building that for yourself. Can't wait to see you in the next video, ladies. And until the next time, go and be great. Bye.